A while ago I picked up a vintage flash gun at a flea market for a few dollars. Thinking, someday I'm going to make a lightsaber or something with this. That same year I had taken a commission to reproduce a Night Sisters light bow from the Clone Wars animated series for a local cosplayer's OC cosplay. I had so much fun doing a Star Wars prop, and playing around with LED filament strands, that I decided then I would dig up the flash gun and make a custom saber for myself. Fast forward to a local pop culture con. I see a couple vendors who sell those fancy expensive lightsaber reproductions. I ask if they just have the polycarbonate too. One of them says yes and sells me one for an eye-watering $80 Canadian. Thing is, I don't really care about Jedi that much.
The Jedi are romanticized, deified. If you strip away the myth and look at their deeds, the legacy of the Jedi is failure. Hypocrisy, hubris. Tied to their powers, they allowed Darth Sidious to rise, create the Empire, and wipe them out. It was a Jedi Master who was responsible for the training and creation of Darth Vader.
But always loved the lightsaber. Around that time I came into possession of a real 1900 series Royal Navy cutlass. I was also in the midst of a One-Piece binge. So I thought, what if a pirate raided a ship and stole a saber from a Sith, and maybe some Inquisitor kit? Not a Jedi or Sith, so not very versed in the saber tech, but willing and capable of MacGyvering a janky light cutlass. And thus the idea was born. I also set myself a limitation. I would not use 3D printing, at least for the saber body, unless absolutely necessary. The form would be the product of kit bashing, like they were originally done by the Lucas crew. The saber is composed of the flash gun, a dollar store hairbrush anti-static cage, some pieces from a busted Transformers toy, some bits of stationery, epoxy clay and a dollar store wreath making kit for the guard arc. It would be rimmed with LED filament to make it look like the guard worked the same way as the lightsaber deflecting Praetorian Guard weapons from The Last Jedi. Initially I used spare Arduino gear and tightly cacked and taped a couple add-on boards together, but the space was so tight that despite my best efforts the wiring would eventually fail me. In the end I had to redo the entire interior. I settled on ordering a soundboard specifically made for lightsabers that I had also used to rejuvenate an old Tron Identity disc toy. This also allowed me to download and purchase pre-existing effects and sound libraries, and bash those together too to really get that powerful jank feel. I wanted the blade tube to be removable, which means I need a way to connect at least 3 wires from the saber body to the pixel strips in the polycarbonate tube. And while I saw custom radial PCBs for sale for $12 plus shipping all over Etsy that were made for the fancy store-bought sabers, it seemed the pogo pin connectors they made it with were only available on saber bodies from those stores. So I loaded up free CAD, ordered some pogo pins from Amazon and made my own. I also did my own radial PCB using a unetched PCB board I hand-etched into 2 rings and a center dot and wired them up. It worked brilliantly. I'm really proud of this build. It was a bit cursed as every time I thought I was finished something tended to go wrong. But the end result is just so much fun to play with. I'm still working on the pirate character this thing will belong to, so stay tuned there.